Hey everyone, it's Brad Brinkman with eXp Realty. Want to make this very quick. I know your time is valuable, so I have got a lot of questions from sellers, buyers, and anyone interested in real estate, and even a lot of agents are saying this. Like, are we in a bubble? Are we kind of getting near the top of the market in San Diego real estate? Should I even buy now? Should I even sell now? Um, what should I do? So that's why I made this video, and let's begin. Now, before I start, PEAR, PEAR, Your Home's Professional Equity Assessment Report. I offer these and been doing these for a lot of clients lately. Just text PEAR to 858-225-7385 here and get your home's value. The first 5 people that do it will get a $50 gift certificate to Amazon.com. There's no obligation to sell. And whether you decide to work with me or anyone else, it'll be very helpful information. However, if you do list your home with me, you will get another $1,000 at closing. So, average sales price right now. Okay, I don't like median because this is everything. This is the average. Average sales price for January 22 in San Diego County for a house is $1,188,824. So that's almost $1.2 million for the average sales price. The average sales price for a condo is $712,678. It's almost $713,000. Now, this is why people are going, oh my goodness, are we in a bubble? And I don't blame them. That is a huge. That year over year change, that's almost 19% change for those houses, and for condos, townhomes, that's 26%. That is amazing. And it's also got you scratching your head going, how can this go on? And like all markets, everything has to adjust. So it's not a question of if, it's when. So this is why this video is valuable. Now, look at new listings. This is nationally, just kind of taking a quick national perspective, that these listings continue to fall like a rock. This means our inventory is so low. Looking at that, look at this. This is 232 listings. Okay, this is by all this stuff. Again, I quote all my sources. Realtor.com is where this source is. You can see all the sources on every slide, just so you know, because there's always like 22 commentators for every one athlete. So just like anyone giving you any information, you have to look and see, hey, where are they getting their sources from? Where are their statistics? So important to know. National monthly listing counts down. Listings are falling like a rock. Now, San Diego, same thing. San Diego County listings are also dropping like a rock. They're down 21% from last year. So if you can look at this and you see in 2020, 21, 22, you see how this, look at this. This is crazy. It's just crazy. So you start to see how these listings are really, this is why the inventory is so low and everything is dropping. Now, that is important because we look at this and we say, okay, with such low inventory and the higher prices, the byproduct obviously is the equity. So what is the solution here? So this is an average of all the home price forecasting. Okay, what they think it's going to go up for nationally, 6.13%. In my last video, if you missed it, make sure to go back and see it. I gave my prediction on what was going to happen. But all these companies, CoreLogic, Fannie Mae, HPS, Freddie Mac, National Association of Realtors, MBA, and Zelman, all these are optimistic. They want to paint a rosy picture. So that's why I took the average. And the average for the national is they're saying it's going to be about 6.13%. If you want to be super conservative, cut that in half. We're going to see some home appreciation this year. How much exactly, experts are saying, 6.13%, but take that with a grain of salt. Let's look at the national monthly average of sales. Because the inventory is low, that doesn't mean that there isn't a massive amount of sales. Look at this is a 15-year record nationally where there's over 6.1 million home sales. Okay, compare that to 2019 and even last year. So the inventory is low, but there are massive amounts of property selling. And if you can look at here and from a local standpoint in San Diego, we have an 18-year record high. Okay, so this little chart, it goes back all the way to 2004, and you can see that right now. I mean, look, this is 41,021 sales for San Diego. Okay, so the inventory is low, but homes are selling. There are a lot of homes selling, and they're selling quick. Now, homes are becoming less affordable, but they're not unaffordable. And that's the key here. And what do I mean by that? And is that just a nice little sales thing to say? Well, we have to look at, there's a difference between, affordability and affordable housing, right? I mean, affordable housing is for the lower income stuff, and then affordable is like, what does that dollar get you? So we look at the housing affordable index from 1990 until today. It's still better than 1990 through 2008. Look, so just so you know, the home affordability index, the higher the number, the more affordable the housing is. So this is when that distressed properties were hitting the market, 2009 through 2015. That's when we had these very highly affordable homes out there on the market. Now we have seen that start to dip down a little bit back to levels of 2018, but it's still quite affordable. It's not gotten to the unaffordable levels to where, look at in 2006 where it was just like, my gosh, the pricing was so high, but then they had all the, the crazy, if you had a pulse, you got a loan, crazy, scams there. And then, this is the reality of what happens when we're in a down market and it's super affordable. So we're still in a market that the homes are affordable. Now, let me back that up because this is a national thing. Now, what about San Diego? So yeah, it's something to be concerned about because I said the higher the number, the more affordable it is. So you can see that these properties are becoming less affordable. I mean, even from last month, that's a huge jump. Okay. So a year over year change, we're about 25% less affordable than it was last year for most buyers. The thing about that in San Diego, when we look at it, what is the affordability? We've looked at this stat, that's important, but we have jobs. We have a very, very low unemployment rate. This is from the San Diego Union Tribune. This was late January, that the unemployment rate hits the lowest rate of the pandemic to end the year. Okay, so the San Diego County closed out last year with this lowest jobless rate of the pandemic, right? So you can see how there are jobs being created. There is money in the circle, so to speak, meaning that all the different employment clusters that we have here in San Diego, right? So we have the biotech, the engineering companies, we have the defense, we have travel tourism, then we have the biotech, right? Healthcare. We have such diverse industries here in San Diego, and so that is one of the reasons why it is becoming expensive to buy property. Let's just get that right out there. However, it's still affordable. Okay, why? Because there are jobs, and these are good jobs that are paying well. And the other thing is nationally, I mean, look at the rents are skyrocketing. I mean, they're going through the roof. Look at these rents, but even more so in San Diego. So you can see how much, why there is still such a strong demand, because what the market is going to crash when there is either a massive increase in the supply, right? The inventory just goes bananas, and where there's much more to choose from, right? Or the demand decreases significantly. Okay, so we might see a little bit of a decrease in demand with increase in interest rates, but right now we've got an average of 4 or 5 buyers for every one property. Even if you cut that in half, that's still a big problem, right? So that's from a local perspective. Plus, again, I mentioned the byproduct of all these increases in prices is the greater net worth because of the equity in your home. So if you're looking at this at your different income levels, over those making, the average income level, by the way, per household is about 108,000 in San Diego. And so, that's the average equity is probably going to be around 223. Okay. Now, for renters making that much money, they've got no equity, right? I mean, so their net worth is significantly less. And those that are renting and making, really good money, this is the thing. It's like you're missing out on this equity, because especially if you're going to be living there and you're going to be holding the property and for a longer period of time, meaning more than 2 or 3 years. So always a good bet if you're looking to move into something. As an investment, that might be a little bit different depending upon your situation, okay? Because if you're looking for an immediate cash flow property without a significant amount of down payment, it's going to be challenging to do that in San Diego. So just a reminder for all those that might be renting, this is still, with the interest rates being so low historically, it's still a great time. And the last reminder, again, about texting PAIR to get your equity analysis and your value. And the first 5 people get a $50 gift certificate to Amazon.com. No obligation to sell, but you will get another $1,000 at closing if you do end up listing. Now, foreclosures are not surging, because everybody asks, what about foreclosures? Well, we haven't seen any major signs or even minor signs of foreclosures starting to increase. And as you can see, when the market was, in 2019, there was this many, this many, this many. It's all going down. Why? Banks don't want to take these properties back. They don't want them. It doesn't look very good on their books. It doesn't look very attractive to have a lot of defaulted properties in their books. So you can see, this is from Atom Data Solutions. These guys are great. They put together really good, solid numbers. So look at where we were with foreclosures, even pre-crash, and then at the crash time, and we're still at an all-time, not an all-time, but a very low point. The all-time for going back from 2005. So you can see that there's not many foreclosures coming onto the market right now. Will there be in the future? Maybe, but this is the thing. I love RealtyTrack. By the way, that when the market was down, and I thankfully have been through, since doing this since the mid 90s, been through about 3 of these market dips. And I use RealtyTrack because that's their business. That they are. If you Google RealtyTrack, you'll see they're all about foreclosures. And if you ever want to dive deeper into that, but this is the vice president of RealtyTrack. Now, keep in mind, RealtyTrack, they make money off of their foreclosure reports and all their foreclosures. So he's even saying that we're likely to continue seeing large year-over-year percentage increase for the rest of the year. It's also likely that foreclosure activity will remain below historically normal levels until the end of 2022. So that's about as far out as I can go as the end of 2022. I don't know, unless there's a natural disaster. This is not going to change for foreclosures. So what about forbearances? What about these people coming out of forbearance? Are they going to go into foreclosure? And if you look at this, almost half of them have worked out some kind of repayment plan. But the majority of, if you look at this, these numbers is almost a little over 80% of all people have either paid their mortgage back in full, or they have a repayment plan. And only about 18% are still in trouble. Okay. So with that 1% doing short sales, deeds in lieu, or repayment plans, so this is why you're not seeing the foreclosures. The banks are doing everything they can so they don't have these, they have to take these properties back. So I hope that helps everyone. Again, if you want to have an equity analysis, just text PAIR to me, and I'll get that out to you. Of course, no obligation, whether you decide to work with me or someone else. But if you do decide to list, you get another $1,000 at closing. If you have any questions, please just let me know. And thank you all so much for watching.